and they changed its trajectory entirely. And that culminates at the famous ANC policy conference at Morogoro in Tanzania in 1969, where the ANC buys fully in to the idea of national democratic revolution.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Moments. Real Moments are sections from longer interviews done on my channel that I think you guys might find interesting. Your real moment is in. Deborah, final question. Deborah, who are the brains behind the ANC for all these new regulations regarding EWC, the private security industry, etc.?
Yeah, have we got more than 1 minute, Joe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Deborah, the brains is a great question. To find it, you really have to go back to what happened to the ANC in the 1950s. It's the end of the Second World War. Black South Africans have made an immense sacrifice to go and fight fascism in Europe. And one of the calculations there was that this demonstration would help them win civil rights at home. And that doesn't happen. Smuts loses in 48. Grand apartheid is upon us, and the ANC gets hounded. And up to that point, it's been going up to that point for just a shy of 40 years. It had been quite a moderate, staid, pragmatic, conservative organization. But the hounding and the early years of the Cold War meant that the ANC finds itself in the embrace of the East Germans and the Soviet Union. And they changed its trajectory entirely. And that culminates at the famous ANC policy conference at Morogoro in Tanzania in 1969, where the ANC buys fully in to the idea of national democratic revolution. Now, this is very different to the ANC in its early years. NDR, or National Democratic Revolution, was a play on Lenin's theory of imperialism, which held that the wealth of colonial powers was inherently illegitimate because it could only arise from exploitation. And therefore, it was the purpose of every revolutionary movement to dispossess the colonizer so that the colonized would be free. And the ANC stuck with that, it's formally adopted in 69, sticks with that for another 22 years or 23 years into Davos in 92, where Mandela turns direction back to the pragmatism of the early years of the ANC. And he lends that momentum to his de facto prime minister, Mr. Mbeki, who on a policy perspective is actually quite pragmatic. And in the ANC's first 10 years, for example, it records a budget surplus. So people fight with me, the ANC wasn't that pragmatic. It didn't really turn after Davos. My answer to them is budget surplus. Go show me a budget surplus in the rest of the world. And you see arch fiscal conservatism at play. When Mbeki was defeated at Polokwane in 2007, the ideological clock in the ANC was turned back to the dogma of Morogoro in 1969. And that is where it comes from. In the aftermath of that 2007 ANC conference, my colleagues and I tracked, I think at least now 15, it's probably approaching 20, separate policy and legislative attempts to undermine property rights, starting with the 2008 expropriation bill and culminating now in the constitutional amendment proposal. So you've asked a very important question. And the answer is the deep origins behind this real thinkers are the influence that was exerted on the ANC in the early years of the Cold War.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your real moment. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to share it with your friends, family, or whoever you think might find it interesting. Give the video a like. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and helping it grow. And this is your second reminder to please subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. And please go check out the Telegram channel. It's a channel, not a group. You just get notified of all the upcoming uploads and live streams on this channel. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.